All right, kicking off this ranking at number 5, we have Easy Troll Tower. And honestly, the word easy in Roblox is one of the biggest lies ever told. Because whenever a game puts the word easy in the title, I immediately assume I'm about to get scammed. At first, everything seems normal. The jumps are simple, the platforms look safe, nothing feels suspicious, and that's exactly how the game gets you. The tower starts by making you feel smart. You jump across a few stages without any problems. You're feeling confident, maybe even a little too confident. Then, suddenly, you step on what looks like a perfectly normal platform and you're falling straight into the void. Yep, welcome to your first troll. The thing I actually like about Easy Troll Tower is that it doesn't try to destroy you immediately. It's more like the tower is introducing itself. It's basically saying, hey, nice to meet you. Let me ruin your trust issues real quick. And honestly, it does a pretty good job. After a few stages, I stopped trusting everything. A normal-looking platform? Suspicious. A giant arrow telling me where to go? Definitely suspicious. A path that looks completely safe? The most suspicious thing I've ever seen. At one point, I spent more time staring at platforms than actually jumping on them. I wasn't playing Roblox anymore. I was conducting a full criminal investigation. Every jump became a life decision. Every platform needed evidence. Every stage felt like the tower was trying to outsmart me. But unlike some of the later towers on this list, the trolls here are actually pretty fair. Most of the time when I fell, I couldn't even be mad. I'd just sit there thinking, okay, yeah, that one was kind of my fault. And that's why Easy Troll Tower lands at number 5. It's beginner friendly, it's funny, and it teaches you one very important lesson. Never trust anything in a troll tower, because the second you get comfortable, the tower reminds you who's really in control.
But now I want to know something. What's the dumbest troll you've ever fallen for in a Roblox obby? Was it a fake platform, an invisible wall, or did you trust a sign that completely lied to you? Let me know in the comments, and trust me, the next tower on this list is way more evil than this one.
Coming in at number 4, we have the classic Troll Tower. Now, this is where things start getting serious. Easy Troll Tower was like getting slapped with a pillow. Troll Tower, this one shows up with a baseball bat. The moment I joined, I could already tell something was different. The tower looked normal, the jumps looked normal, the paths looked normal, and that's exactly what made it dangerous, because this game has mastered the art of making everything look trustworthy. And trust me, that trust never lasts long. The first few stages were actually pretty easy. I started moving faster. I stopped checking every platform. I stopped being careful. I thought I had figured the game out. Big mistake, because the second I got comfortable, the tower activated its secret ability, destroying my confidence. I'd see a platform and think, yep, that's definitely the right way. Wrong. I'd see a shortcut and think, no way they'd troll me here. Wrong again. At one point, I found a path that looked so obvious that I didn't even hesitate. I jumped. I fell. And while falling, I had enough time to rethink every decision that led me to that moment. The thing that makes Troll Tower so frustrating is that it doesn't always rely on impossible jumps. Instead, it attacks your brain. It wants you to second guess everything. You stop asking, can I make this jump? And start asking, is this jump even real? That's a completely different level of psychological damage. The tower slowly turns you into a paranoid conspiracy theorist. A platform exists? Suspicious. A checkpoint appears? Suspicious. A helpful sign points left? Definitely suspicious. By the middle of the tower, I wasn't even playing confidently anymore. I was moving like someone trying to cross a minefield, one tiny step at a time, looking around, analyzing every corner. Meanwhile, the game is probably laughing at me. And the worst part, sometimes the obvious path actually is the correct path. So now you're trapped in a never-ending cycle of confusion. Do I trust the tower? Do I not trust the tower? Do I trust the fact that I don't trust the tower? My brain was melting. But despite all that, I have to admit something. This tower is actually really fun, because every troll feels clever. Every mistake teaches you something. and every successful stage feels earned. It's annoying, it's frustrating, but it's also the kind of game that makes you immediately want to try again after failing. And that's why Troll Tower earns the number 4 spot on this list. It's not brutally difficult, but it's smart enough to make you question your own intelligence.
Alright, I need to know. What's the most times you've ever fallen for the exact same troll in Roblox? Be honest. Was it twice? 5 times? Or are you like me and somehow fell for the same trap over and over again? Drop your answer in the comments. And get ready, because the next tower takes everything you've seen so far and somehow makes it even more evil. Alright, we've officially reached the top 3, and this is where things stop being funny. Coming in at number 3, we have Notbie Troll Tower. Now, before I played this game, I thought I understood how Troll Towers worked. I thought I knew the tricks. I thought I knew the traps. I thought I was prepared. I was wrong. Very wrong. Because Notbie Troll Tower doesn't just troll you, it studies you. It learns your habits. It figures out exactly how your brain works, and then uses that information against you. The first thing I noticed was how normal everything looked. Nothing seemed dangerous. Nothing looked suspicious. The tower almost felt welcoming. And that's probably the biggest red flag of all, because in a troll tower, the more comfortable you feel, the closer you are to disaster. At first, I was making good progress. I was clearing stages, landing jumps, actually feeling pretty confident. Then, the game hit me with its favorite strategy, false hope. You know that feeling when you've been struggling for several minutes, then suddenly everything starts going perfectly? You think, okay, maybe I'm finally figuring this out. That's exactly when Notbie Troll Tower strikes. The game lets you build confidence. It lets you feel smart. It lets you think you're winning. And then, boom, back to the bottom. At one point, I spent nearly 5 minutes carefully making my way through a section. I was focused, I was locked in, I was treating every jump like it was life or death, and somehow I survived all of it. Then I reached a platform that looked completely harmless. No warning signs, no weird design, no suspicious colors, nothing. So naturally, I jumped onto it and immediately fell into a trap. I literally sat there staring at my screen, not angry, not sad, just confused, like the game had personally betrayed me. And that's when I realized something. Notbie Troll Tower doesn't want to beat your character, it wants to beat you, the player. Your instincts become useless, your experience becomes useless, even common sense becomes useless. You start questioning everything. A normal platform? Trap. A fake-looking platform? Maybe real. A giant arrow showing the correct path? Probably lying. At some point, I wasn't even trying to beat the tower anymore. I was trying to understand the person who made it, because whoever designed this thing clearly wakes up every morning and chooses chaos. And somehow, the more frustrated I became, the more I wanted to keep playing, because every time the tower got me, I felt like I was one step closer to understanding its secrets. Spoiler alert, I never understood its secrets. The tower was always 3 steps ahead, and that's exactly why Notbie Troll Tower earns the number 3 spot on this list. It's clever, it's unpredictable, and it turns every stage into a psychological battle, not just against the game, but against your own confidence. Alright, I need to know, have you ever played a Roblox game that felt like it was personally targeting you? Like every trap somehow knew exactly what you were going to do next? Let me know in the comments, and if you've played Notbie Troll Tower before, tell me the stage that made you rage the hardest, because somehow the next 2 towers on this list are even worse. And trust me, we're about to enter true villain territory. Alright, we're down to the final 2, and coming in at number 2 is a tower that taught me one very important lesson. The tower isn't your biggest enemy, other players are. Welcome to Slap Tower 7. Now at first glance, this game doesn't seem too bad. It's just another tower, another obby, another challenge. At least that's what I thought. Then somebody slapped me, and suddenly my entire life changed. See, most troll towers only have one goal, make you fall. Slap Tower 7 has 2 goals, make you fall
and make sure another player gets the credit for it. The first few stages actually went pretty smoothly. I was making progress, I was feeling confident, I was locked in. Then I noticed something. Players weren't focusing on the tower, they were focusing on each other. And that's when I realized this wasn't an obby, this was a battlefield. Every player becomes a potential threat. Someone standing near you, dangerous. Someone following behind you, very dangerous. Someone acting friendly, the most dangerous player in the entire server. At one point, I was nearly at the top. I had survived every trap, every troll, every impossible jump. I could practically taste victory. Then I saw another player standing nearby. He wasn't moving, he wasn't jumping, he was just staring at me. And for some reason, I trusted him. Big mistake. The second I lined up my jump, slap, gone, instantly launched off the tower. I watched my character fly through the air like a confused bird. And the worst part? I had enough time during the fall to process exactly what happened. I wasn't outplayed by the tower. I wasn't defeated by a trap. I got betrayed by another human being. That hurts differently. After that moment, I stopped trusting everyone. Every player became suspicious. I started treating every encounter like a spy movie. Why are they standing there? Why are they following me? Why are they getting so close? What are your intentions? At one point, I wasn't even climbing anymore. I was conducting security checks. The paranoia was unreal. And somehow, that's what makes Slap Tower 7 so entertaining, because every run is different. The tower stays the same, the players don't. Some players help you, some players ignore you, and some players wake up every morning with one mission: to ruin your day. And honestly, I kind of respect the dedication, because the funniest moments in this game don't come from the tower, they come from the absolute chaos created by other players. 1 second you're working together, the next second you're flying back to spawn. Friendship deleted, trust destroyed, career ended. And that's why Slap Tower 7 takes the number 2 spot. The tower is difficult, but the real challenge is surviving the players.
Alright, be honest. What's the most disrespectful thing another Roblox player has ever done to you? Did they push you off an obby, troll you at the finish line, or betray you after pretending to help? Drop your story in the comments, because I know some of you have been through worse than this. And now, we're finally at number 1, the tower that completely broke me. The tower that destroyed my patience. The tower that made me question why I even play Roblox. And trust me, nothing we've seen so far comes close to what's next. And finally, we've reached number 1, the most evil, the most frustrating, the most mentally exhausting tower on this entire list: Hugs Troll Tower. Now, before I played this game, I thought I understood suffering. I thought I knew what a difficult troll tower looked like. I thought I had experienced the worst Roblox had to offer. I was wrong, because Hugs Troll Tower doesn't just troll you, it completely rewires your brain. The moment I joined, I could already tell this tower was different. Everything looked colorful, friendly, almost cute. The kind of game that makes you think, oh, this doesn't look too bad. And that right there, that's the first trap. Because Hugs Troll Tower is basically a masterclass in deception. Nothing is what it seems, and I mean nothing. The floor might be fake. The wall might be fake. The platform? Definitely suspicious. At one point, I found myself staring at a single jump for nearly 30 seconds. Not because it was difficult, because I genuinely couldn't tell if the game was trying to trick me. And that's what makes this tower terrifying. You're not fighting the obstacles anymore, you're fighting your own instincts. Every single stage feels like a psychological experiment. The tower keeps asking the same question: how much trust do you have left? And every time you answer, it takes more away. There was one moment that perfectly explains this game. I had finally built up momentum. I was flying through stages, making jumps, avoiding traps, actually feeling like a pro player. Then I saw the next platform. It looked normal, completely normal. No red flags, no weird design, nothing. And because of everything this tower had already done to me, I stopped. I stood there for almost 10 seconds, thinking, analyzing, questioning reality.
I was so convinced it was a trap that I almost didn't jump. Then I finally jumped, and guess what? It was real. The platform was completely fine. The tower had trolled me so much that I started trolling myself. That's what I knew the game had won. Not because I fell, not because I failed, but because I no longer trusted my own judgment. And somehow, the tower keeps getting worse. Every time you think you've learned its tricks, it invents new ones. Every time you think you figured out the pattern changes. It's like playing chess against someone who keeps changing the rules halfway through the match. The mental damage is unbelievable. By the end of my run, I wasn't even reacting normally anymore. I'd fall into a trap and just stare at the screen. No anger, no sadness, just acceptance. Like my soul had already left my body 3 stages ago. And yet, I couldn't stop playing, because every failure made me want revenge. Every troll made me want another attempt. Every trap made me think, okay, now I figured it out. Spoiler alert, I had not figured it out. Not even close. And that's why Hug's Troll Tower takes the #1 spot. Not because it's the hardest tower mechanically, not because it has the most impossible jumps, but because it's the only tower on this list that successfully convinced me to doubt my own existence. This isn't just a troll tower, it's psychological warfare disguised as a Roblox game. And honestly, I kind of respect it.
Now I need your help. Do you agree with this ranking? Would you put Hug's Troll Tower at #1, or is there an even more evil troll tower that deserves the crown? Drop the name in the comments, because I'm always looking for new ways to suffer. And if this video somehow reaches 100 likes, I'll play the hardest troll tower you guys recommend. Trust me, that's probably a terrible idea, but we're doing it anyway. And if you enjoyed watching me lose my sanity one tower at a time, make sure to subscribe for more Roblox chaos, because something tells me this won't be the last troll tower that breaks me.